Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, depending where you're located in the world. If you don't know who I am, my name is Villain Ari, or Ari Villain. I go by both here on social media and stuff, and I post a plethora of different kinds of content. I do art, I do gaming, and I do vlogging, which is what this channel is. This channel is all about me talking about my chronic illness and the experiences I've had and how it impacts me and those around me, and how it's been a very interesting journey, to say the least. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know a bit about my back lore and that kind of thing, and how I've come to this point in my life, and the things that I'm working on and hoping to continue to work on. Lately, I've actually been writing a little bit, more so editing, I guess, some of the writing that I've done over the years, and hopefully gonna be able to compile it into like a book, or like, maybe like a little book. Maybe it won't even be a big book, it'll just be a tiny book. And I'm considering just uploading it as like a KDP on Amazon, and then having it available on Kindle and that kind of thing, so that people can like read it and maybe get some goodness out of it, hopefully. I know that a lot of the stuff that I've been through is definitely why I am the way that I am, and all of the therapy that I've gone to has also helped me to articulate a lot better and communicate a lot better over the years the things that I need or don't need in my life and that kind of thing. And I kind of feel like I have all of this information just sitting in my head, and I kind of want to share it with you guys, but in a more like planned out kind of way, instead of like a vlog where it's just like these key talking points, right? It's more like a book where you can like pick it up and read it for a little bit and put it down, and then that way I can be the voice inside of your head for a bit, yeah. That kind of thing, and hopefully help you like others have helped me, just kind of like passing those information and coping skill things down, and hopefully helping other people to get to a better place in their lives mentally, because living with chronic illness is definitely one of those things that can wear on us over time. And I know for myself, I go through these like ups and downs where I feel like, okay, yeah, I can conquer the world, and then something happens with my body and I'm just like, what am I even trying to do this for, right? Like, I'm very sick, and I feel like at times I'm very limited, and then I know that I'm limiting myself as well, so I'm trying to like be kinder to myself and be more gentle with myself, and recognize that sometimes I need a break from things, and do what I can to continue to push forward, even though it's really challenging at times, especially on those days where I have massive head pain and I'm unable to like even feed myself. I usually just lay in bed and don't do much of anything. But when those days are over and I'm able to get back to like sitting here in front of my computer and making a video like this, I feel like I'm in a better place sometimes when I'm making these videos, and other times I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm making a video and I'm very like stuck inside of my head and kind of trying to like get the words out, but also feeling like I'm being vague. But it's also like not wanting to disclose too much, but not wanting to disclose too little. Like, I want to be able to be relatable, but at the same time also protect my anonymity. So there's like this, I guess, battle within myself to some degree that makes it hard to make these videos at times. But I do want to do the best that I can to articulate and communicate that it is okay to feel the way that you're feeling. Like, on those days when you feel down and depressed and in the dumps, and like you don't feel like you have that much oomph to keep going, right? That, it's okay to feel that stuff. It's okay to be down, but it's also vital to one's survival, especially with chronic illness and mental health stuff, to continue those days after, when you do get a little bit of your quote unquote normal, or like your baseline back, whatever your baseline is with illness, because that's different for all of us, that once you get that baseline back, that you're trying to do something for yourself, and you're reminding yourself that it's okay that you had those days. And I know for myself, I can get stuck in this weird cycle where I feel like I'm a burden to people because I'm chronically ill. And I think part of that is just because of how people have been viewed in society with illness and that kind of thing. I think that kind of stuff is changing for sure. I don't feel like everything is like that, and I know that there's some amazing people in my life that don't judge me for being sick, and they're understanding of me canceling plans and that kind of stuff. But there are times when we're dealing with illness, and if we are down and we are struggling and we feel like we can't reach out to people, because part of that is we don't want to be a burden, especially if you've been around someone who's experienced caretaker's burnout. It definitely makes it more difficult to reach out for help when you need help. And I would encourage you to try to reach out for help when you need help, whether that's mental health related or physically health related, or maybe you just need a friend to listen, right? Sometimes that's really all that I need, is someone to listen. And I feel like at times a bare minimum to ask of someone. But at the same time, I also feel like it's important to know what you need in certain situations. There's a difference between what you want in a situation and what you need. And I know that something that I need is sometimes just an ear and someone to sit with me in the dark and listen, over the phone, that kind of thing, or just have me text back and forth with them for a bit until I start to feel better. And I know that not everyone can be there for every single person all of the time, and it's unrealistic to think that someone could be there all of the time for you. Sadly, that's not the way that life works, but if you do have a friend that you can count on in those dark moments, and if you don't have the capacity yourself to listen to someone, telling someone hey, today is not a good day for me, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with this issue that you're having, can we please talk about it tomorrow? Kind of putting that boundary there to protect yourself, but then also help that other person understand that you do want to be there for them, but you just can't right now. So I think I've talked about it before on this channel, that when I have migraines and stuff, I'm not able to communicate a whole bunch. I can't message back and forth, I can't sit on the phone and listen to someone. And a big reason for that is because auditory and visual things for me, especially when I'm experiencing a migraine, are both impacted. So I literally need to lay in the dark, and if I have anything on, it's usually rain sounds or something on the TV, something very quiet. I can't be around bright lights, which is why sometimes I'll stream without a camera, because sitting under this light can be very challenging for me at times. It can cause headaches just sitting under it. So I do my best to have those boundaries in place for myself, and in the long run that helps me to be able to continuously show up for people when I am able to, right? Not in those moments where I have, like I said, a really bad migraine and I can't look at stuff and I can't listen to things, because music sometimes makes it worse, watching a show makes it worse, sometimes just looking at a screen makes things worse. So that's also a reason why sometimes I just don't make content, or why I batch content, because if I batch content, then it's just kind of all made, and then I can just schedule it and then not worry about it, and then come back to the channel at a later date and then make more videos. So that's sometimes why I'm wearing the same thing in multiple videos, because I sit here and I do 3 or 4 videos, and then I'm okay, that's good for a month, right? Because I do tend to try to upload on this channel at least once a week, but that doesn't always end up happening, because in November I had a migraine for the majority of the month. Well, it's still November, so most of November I've had a migraine, which really did not help, and I've had a lot of fevers and that kind of stuff, and I've been trying to figure out what is causing them, and my face is kind of swollen. Not massive, but there is fluid here, as we can see. It's interesting, if you look at some of my videos, you can see the progression of my face swelling change. It'll look like I gain weight and then I lose weight and gain weight and lose weight, because my face ends up changing so much because of mast cell activation, which is very interesting and also frustrating at the same time, because sometimes there's just so much fluid in my face, and then it puts pressure on things like my jaw, which makes talking hard. So I have had inflammation in my jaw over the years, which has caused some pretty bad issues, like not being able to eat solid food, and then having to drink Boost and have broths, and not even being able to really have a chunky kind of soup. It's everything has to be pureed, and sometimes that inflammation will last for a good couple weeks, and then during that time period I do end up losing weight, which is also a bit of an issue with mast cell activation for someone like me. And I'm sure other people with mast cell activation have their own issues in that regard. Maybe it's tongue swelling. I know that sometimes my tongue gets so swollen that I can't eat either, because I'll just end up biting it. But because I have a high palate in my mouth, which basically means the roof of my mouth, when my tongue does swell, I can still breathe. So, which I guess I'm kind of lucky for. So thank you, EDS, for that. But anyways, this is just kind of like a, you know, my stream of consciousness kind of videos that I make here on YouTube. I just talk, I go from one topic to the next, and if that's the kind of thing that you like, and you also have chronic illness, or you're looking to understand more about what life is like for people with chronic illness, feel free to give me a subscribe and a like. And if there's videos you'd like to see me make here on the channel, please comment them down below. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!